When you get to the point of a new year, it's easy to think about the next year and what you need to do, what you need to change, what needs to happen. But sometimes we forget to look back at the year we just had and some things we did really well that we can continue into that next year. And here to share a success story with us today is one of our expert trainers, Mandy York. How's it going, Mandy?
Hey, Austin, how are you? Everything is well.
Oh, good to hear. Good to hear. I'm doing great as well. And I'm interested to just hear who's been crushing it this year with basic They Ask You Answer initiatives.
Oh my goodness. There are so many people that come to mind, but I definitely think that I want to talk about my good friends over at Move Mobility slash Avan, if you don't mind.
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, so I've been working with their written content manager and their video manager for several months now, and they are a Canadian wheelchair and mobile medical van company. And they started out with us as Move Mobility. And then over the past year, sometime around April, they transitioned or like expanded into the United States under the name Avan Mobility. And it was really, really exciting because we got to kind of implement They Ask You Answer from the ground up. And we started with this brand new company, didn't even have a website, didn't have any of the different things. And then we had this fun little like time period where we weren't cleaning up anything from the past. We just started from the bottom. And it was absolutely amazing to watch what happened with that company. Like I said, they started that website in April, right? And over the last 6, 7, 8 months, they have reached almost 1 million impressions with that website. And I'll tell you why I think they've been able to have that much success. And it's because they did the basics of the big five and the selling seven really, really well.
Had they already had some experience? You said they were in Canada, or they still are in Canada. They're expanding. Had they had any
Mhm.
experience with They Ask You Answer before kind of starting this initiative?
Yeah, they did. We had worked with They Ask You Answer with this company in Canada to begin with and done really great things over at Move Mobility. And then when they decided to expand into the US market, we were able to start from the ground up with They Ask You Answer. So we hit the ground running with a lot of pricing articles, a lot of comparisons. We did this really amazing customer journey video for a van that they had sold in Joplin, Missouri that really, really did well. And it was really just the basics, it wasn't anything fancy. It was, we're going to tell people what this costs. We're going to be educational and non-biased and trust building with everything that we say. We're going to put all of our cards out on the table. We're going to say all of these things and then just let them sit there. And that's what they did. They put all of that information out and it really, really paid off for them in spades. So now their job is really to just keep the momentum rolling.
That's awesome. Are these basics something, like you mentioned, they're just going to keep going with into the next year, expanding even
Yeah.
further, growing even more?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We did a little bit of localization. So if you've been in the written content world for any amount of time, and you know that you have a company that is actually servicing the entire country, they do actually service the entire country. But we knew, you can't hit the top from day one for an entire country. So we started with some bigger cities and then expanded those out. What does it cost to get a mobile medical van in New York City? What does it cost to get a mobile medical van in Chicago? What is the best of articles, best mobile medical add-ons for this type of mobile clinic? Because they'll do ones for like vaccines. They'll do ones that are for just regular checkups in underserved communities. They focused really heavily on native reservation communities. And so they would hit all of these different kind of pockets, and that has gotten them to the point where they are almost US wide as far as recognition goes.
Wow, that is super cool. And it's super cool that they are able to do that with just using basic Big Five selling seven type content. What would you say to
Oh,
a
yeah.
business that's looking into the next year? Maybe they're worried about, or not worried, but maybe they're just looking at what kind of revolutionary thing they can pull off. How would you kind of talk to them and just encourage them to cover the basics?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say you don't need to be revolutionary. I think so much of marketing is, oh, we're going to put out the flashiest thing or the most expensive campaign, or we're going to, do this big complex whatever. And your consumers don't need that. They don't want it. They want you to tell them what it is, what it costs, if it's the right thing that they need, and then show that to them in video, show them how it's going to work for them, and then they want to hand you their money. We don't need this big fancy, like, whatever Super Bowl commercial. We just need the information, and in a non-biased, trust building, not icky way. They just want that education. Absolutely. And that's what they have done so well at Move Mobility AVAN.
Wow, that's awesome. So cool to hear a success story from this last year, and I'm excited to see where it takes them this next year. Thanks for sharing that story, Mandy, and we'll see you on the next one. Looking into next year, you don't need to be doing anything too crazy to succeed. You just need to earn the trust of your buyers by giving them educational content that helps them make a buying decision. If you need help with some marketing basics in your business, contact us at impactplus.com today to start working with a trainer just like Mandy.